will we make the World Cup next year?
100%.
First things first. Me know, but in my insist, I talk about it. You get a goal last match, and add to the squad, add to the game. If you know that.
Good, because the summer had a really bad injury. In the game, in the Gold Cup game versus Guatemala, put me out for a long time. Went through a lot of pain and a lot of struggling and setbacks in order to be here playing again fully fit today. So felt like God rewarded me with that goal, because the system put in a whole heap of work in order to be fit, to be available for the team. So just have to give God thanks,
Good timing too, because Blakey out, need a captain now.
Yeah, definitely.
But talking about the game there, how important was it to get that win?
Yeah, it was a really good win actually, because if you look at the results, across the board, everybody else dropped points. So I think us and then another team from another group got points, got 3 points. But for us, it put us in a good starting block, a good situation, mathematically and just results-wise. So yeah, the man them were full of confidence. We went in the game not underestimating Bermuda. We know what we wanted, the 3 points, and we went there and we got it. So we give thanks for that.
That not underestimating, that taking it seriously, but then also going confident. Is that the approach going into the rest of these games?
Yeah, ball asleep on nobody, as Jamaicans say, so we just have to go and execute the coach's plan, and also to believe in our teammates and going out there and making our nation proud, because it's been a long time, probably about 20 odd years, almost 30 years now. So everybody says the easiest route to qualify, but we still have to get the results. So the result talk for itself. Get the 3 points on the board and we're on our way. And again, we're in a good position right now, so we just have to build on this.
And what's the mood in the camp?
The mood is good. Everybody has belief. Everybody wants to get to the World Cup. You can see a lot of players that are hungry. Sometimes, probably decisions won't go a player's way, or, especially with the starting 11 or the squad or whatever. But, I feel like as a collective, situation, we're on the right path. We just have to keep the momentum going, and we'll be in a good spot or situation come November.
And obviously, there's a maximum amount of players that can be in a squad at any given time during international breaks. What about the players who aren't in the squad at any given time? What's the connection there? Is there any?
Yeah, players still reach out. We have a group, we have a players-only group. We don't take anybody out the group. It's just, I think Maps is probably still in the group, Eki. So there's a lot of players that aren't really involved in the national team anymore, still a part of the group. But players who are active, they have to be ready. They have to be on standby, they have to be ready, because today you might not be on the list, but tomorrow a player gets injured and then you have to get called up. Like if you're here too and today you're not in the 11, but in the morning a player feels sick and you have to be ready, So yeah, again, football is a cruel sport. And you have to just be honest with yourself and be honest with the game and, respect the game and work hard and always be ready to put on the colour and to rep the crest and to make your family proud.
So that group that you have, that you mentioned, I should say, is it something dynamic where them kind of get together and them, just build up each other?
Yeah, appear foolish just go another group, we banter each other, we talk, we send memes, we send message with motivational quotes, information like when we're on camp, what's going on, stuff like that, really, messages, and man, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. So it's like a regular WhatsApp group chat with the bridging them, we just try to keep the brotherhood there.
And what's it like during these international breaks?
We hardly use the group chat when we're here because we see each other every day, probably mostly when the schedule comes out and stuff like that. But yeah, or anything that we need to talk about in private. But other than that, yeah, it's good. It's a good vibes.
So, good leadership is vital to a healthy group. So, talk to me about like the leadership structure. What's that like within the collective?
Well, now we've established a leadership group. So it's myself, Andre Blake, Bobby Reed, and then you have Mikel Antonio, you have Kingy, you have Jamali, and you have Casey, and you have Mason. So every different player, basically have different roles. Kingy probably more just get him opportunity overseas, but he's more in tune with the local players. Likewise, Jamali, he does his work, come in, good work, man, every day. Isaac Hayden, good work, man. Them man, they just come and work, do them job. A very good example of a professional athlete, I would say. Very exemplary, very respectable player. Mikel, established, did his thing. Especially horrific accident and then come back. So that's very inspirational. And then you have a man like me who's grit, who's gonna push you, who's gonna tell you, say, listen me to the team, and I go hold my mouth, put my mouth around and talk, as people say. And yeah, Blakey, captain, fantastic. Lead from the back, make big saves, and also players listen to him and people love him. So everybody have different roles in the team. And again, it just goes to show that you don't need a captain armband to be a leader, from the youngest player to the oldest player. It's right across the board, and I feel like that's how we're gonna carry this ship to the World Cup.
I noticed when I was watching the training, Casey in particular called Antonio Ounce. The coaches are specifically calling out Hayden in terms of leading the warm-up especially, and things. So that dynamic we referred to in terms of just work and things.
Yeah.
So that's just, and I noticed anybody who come in the group is just brother them.
Yeah, man. That's just family thing, We just try to eliminate the segregation, not because I'm born and raised in Jamaica. That means I'm a Jamaican. I'm a Jamaican, you see me? Him come, him wear the colours, him know the national anthem. Him grandmother, him grandfather, him great-grandmother, him grandfather, born here. Him have Jamaican blood lineage. And again, I always make reference to this, like it's nation versus nation when we go out there and play. It's like a world war. So, a Trinidad versus Jamaica. So, I know Trinidad versus the Jamaican born and the English born players, you see me? So, all our yard, man. So, we go out there and battle together, fight together, die for each other out there on the field, because it's not easy. Not easy at all.
And a Jamaica versus Centre and catcher.
Yeah, just a one unit, you see me? As them say, all the way, one dream. So.
And Bailey, how is he settling into the group?
Bailey's a good kid, energetic, exciting. He wants to do great, and his willingness to learn and to, just to settle in properly and integrate himself is good. He deserves a goal. This man works so hard, but unfortunately, I say it goes. So hopefully, tomorrow, God's willing, we can get one for him.
You mentioned how some of the, I don't know how they feel about the term. Actually, tell me, how do they feel about the term UB40s? Do the English-born players appreciate the term?
I mean, nobody really talk about that, so.
Just making sure. But like for guys like them, I noticed that you call out a number of them as leading, and I see them vocal in the group as well. Some people still kind of have in the back of their mind say, hey, them not really, but these guys take on to it.
Yeah, to be honest, like I feel like in the beginning it was like that sometimes a little bit, but especially with myself, I try to talk to everybody, make everybody feel welcome, comfortable. A man want to go somewhere, we go to Bob Marley Museum, get some food. Me I go up on the road, a man say, yo, need a barber, buy one patty, do some exploring, we go to a river, stuff like that. So we try to make everybody feel welcome and be one and know say, yo, brother, with this, you see me? Whether on the field, off the field, in between the field and the sky, I want Jamaica and I want thing, you see me? And in order to get to the World Cup, we have to have that strong link. And in 98, we hear my father and top on everybody talk about it was harder than now pertaining to resources and stuff like that, and they got through it. So we have limited resources, not as the other nations, but we're getting there, So with what we have, I feel like we can get to the World Cup.
And talk to me now about the coach. What does he bring to the program, and how does he differ from his predecessors?
Experience. I mean, to be honest, every coach that I've played under in the national team, brought different qualities. Obviously, you have Hallgrimsson. He has been to the World Cup. He knows what it is, or what it's like to get to the World Cup, advance in tournaments and stuff like that. Tapa, he knows what it is to, or what it's like to qualify and score. You know, Paul Hall, the same thing. So I feel like Paul Hall and Tapa brought the same qualities, but in different ways. And then Grimmy is more of a guy that, listen, well, get this done. This is the way. This is what works, and we're gonna do it. And him kind of build. He started to build that culture into us, that identity. And then obviously, Coach Steve-O came in, and you know, he brought so much vast experience from Manchester United. He's worked with the best players in the world.
England as well.
It's only right to listen to him and try to follow his philosophy and try to do it to the best of our ability. But he has done a lot. He brought in Ian also. I'm really happy with that. He has a good CV. He's been working with us, and you've seen a lot of changes, and the players have reacted well to it. So I feel now our coaching staff, everybody across the board is good. Everybody contribute in their own little way. And as we say, one cocoa full basket. So just take the lessons, you know. Sometimes, again, as players, we're angry, we're antsy, but listen to the message, not the messenger, as I always say. And yeah, sky's the limit.
Coach Meron, you know, represents a through line.
Yeah.
Like, how important is it having a voice like his in this mix as well?
Yeah, I mean, Meron is like the glue, basically, because he can relate to the local and the Jamaican roots and our ways and what we like, what we don't like, and how we operate, whilst he can relay that message to Coach Steve McLaren and others, because they are still learning our way of living, our culture. Yeah, it's always good to have somebody locally, and he's familiar with the local players, so probably on the scouting report and like recruiting players and bringing in the younger players who play in the Premier League and stuff, kind of help them to give them opportunities to come in, get training, you know, get experience, get minutes, stuff like that.
So tell me something, you probably don't see it much in club football, but in international football especially, I imagine there might be some, you know, top down and the other way around in terms of players actually telling coaches maybe what's the style or what we like here. Does that happen?
To be honest, no, because a coach prior to coming in probably have been doing his homework and seeing how we play, and they know like we're the fastest people on the planet, Jamaican, so that's our strength. You know, we're gonna have fast break, fast counter attack, stuff like that. So to me, over the years, we never really had an identity or a system of play per se. So I feel like not much a player not gonna really say, oh, this is what we want. He might say, okay, boss, I feel like this can work another way. But I think at the end of the day, the coach come in with his philosophy and his way and style of play. And if a player don't fit into it, then it's either he has two options. He find another player to fit the system, or he kind of compromise a little bit because this player is so good and we need him in the team.
So in the early days, was there that kind of, you know, nebulous feeling where it's like we're trying to figure out each other?
Yeah, I feel like, all right, you know, everybody, there are so many players that have been here so long, and I've seen so many players that have come in and coaches that have come in. I feel like you always need that, you could say, sacrifice of people to start something in order for it to be where it is now. You see me? So I feel like the Tapas and like all the players, them like Michael Binns, Aka, like Decoy Williams, all of them, you know, they had to go through that wave in order to establish a foundation for us to learn from that, come in, join, and then to build it, and then another coach come in, try, fail, succeed, until where we are today. And I feel like we've come a long way, a long, long, long way.
Would you credit Grimmy for setting the tone of the current squad?
Yeah, credit Grimmy, credit Grimmy. Also credit Tapa. I have to give Tapa and praises, because Tapa has done, him come under a lot of pressure, and he has done so much with such little. You understand? And I feel like that kind of gets swept under the rug a little bit. Grimmy also did a a tremendous job with us. Again, sometimes you get the raw deal, you have to work it the way you have, but you know, wish him all the best.
And before I move on to the last couple questions, you had mentioned how Meron would kind of scout some of the younger players. Of course, we had a under 15 team that did excellent.
Really well, yeah. I was monitoring them.
How do you guys probably, tap into the younger players that are available?
To be honest, I feel like that's a JFF situation and not like a senior player situation.
Just in terms of the players themselves, like on the talk to each other already.
Okay, so I was one of the players that really came to the grassroots and play club football locally, Manning Cup, and then I came to the ranks, play U20, U23 for the national team. So I feel like we just need proper scouting and then a proper system that allows the players, especially these ones that were so successful, to train together, play together, get more minutes, play more tournaments, and monitor them when they leave abroad to college or academies. Because I feel like a lot of players get lost in the wind because of that, because we don't have a proper scouting pool or a system and that's one thing that Grimmy brought, He brought in his staff that is really good with that, they're proactive with that, and John is like excellent with that, So I feel like, again, they set the precedent for where we are now to discovering players and keeping in touch with players, no matter if they're Indonesia, they're Saudi Arabia. They're still checking the games, checking the stats, seeing how players are developing and stuff like that. So I feel like we have to start with that more and invest in that more, and we'll be good.
You guys keep up with the girls?
Yeah. For me, I mean, we follow each other on Instagram and stuff, and we send them a good look here and there and stuff. So yeah, but we're not really in contact every day.
Back now to where we were. Which teams you expect to pose the greatest challenge in, or which games?
Which games? Every game. The Bermuda game was hard, because they have nothing to lose. They're playing against Jamaica. We're probably the biggest country in the world pertaining to lifestyle and entertainment and tourism and all of that. Everyone wants to be a part of this, and everybody wants to beat us. So even if them down 4-0, them are going to run same way, 5-0, 6-0, it doesn't matter the scoreline. We've seen it time and time again. I've been playing in games where I win 6-0 and teams still are run at the first minute of the game, because you never know who's watching when you're playing against Jamaica. You know what I mean? So every game is going to be hard because they want to beat us, and it's wide open. So many Caribbean teams can be in the World Cup this next year, so why not go for it? I'm not wrong them.
How important is it, the games at the office?
Very important.
And the fans?
Big. That's a big deal. The fans, the 12th man, I always call them, we have a full house. When we go to Nicaragua, El Salvador, the Honduras, oh my God, the man, they make it hectic. The man, them boo when we walk out through the tunnel and them thing there. Yeah, and whistle and stuff like that. We have to make it hostile, make them know, say, listen to me, just come to Jamaica to enjoy the beaches and a red stripe. But we have to just know, say, we're ready, we're armored up, we're ready, we're fit and focused.
All right, one straightforward question. Will we make the World Cup next year?
100%.